Hey everybody, welcome back to Game of Tones, and here we are with the next update. I think what I'm gonna do here is try and create another downbeat persona styled track. These are kind of fun for me. I'm not really the best at them, but some people really liked the first one that I did, and so I'm gonna go ahead and copy that. So we're gonna get right into that studio drummer here, and we're gonna put this in immediately because I like to think of this as the metronome. I really like doing that. So we're gonna go into maybe like a nice jazz sound, and we're gonna try to pick the groove here. But before we get to that, we're gonna just lower that tempo. We're gonna get it back down here. We don't want it to be too fast, so let's try it at maybe 100. That's pretty cool. Let me see what 90 sounds like, just so we can get that nice little mellow action happening. Yeah, so you know what? Let's just test some of these grooves out. That one's actually pretty decent. So this is not really something to really stress over. What I will do is take that little demo and just snap it right in here. So now we don't have to really think about it too much. So now we have a nice classic metronome happening, you know, a nice little pattern for the drums, so that we don't have to really think about. I'll close that down. I'm going to start plopping them in the playlist window here, and I'm going to actually organize myself. So we're going to call them drums. I don't want to get lost. Just for the sake of organization, I'm a big fan of that. And I can't forget to save. Always save. I'm just going to call this like downbeat. Downbeat persona idea. So now that we have that happening, now the part that is going to start the process. So we're going to go in here, and I think we're going to go right into that EP sound. Big fan of that. Let's get a nice and color going. And I'm a big fan of electric piano. I think I'm actually too much of a fan, but you know what? I think it's fun for me. So I don't mind like going back to those tried and true sounds. If you like them, I would stick with them. And I'm going to jump into Zebra 2. This is a very powerful synth, guys. I think that it's so underrated. It's just one of those things that always works for me. So now finding the right sound is the hard part, I guess. So I'm going to actually hit that metronome going here, and I'm going to see if I can find something decent. Something chilled that makes sense from start to finish. And so I'll just play alongside the drum pattern. So here we go. I'm wondering, should I actually keep that sound? Let me see. I think there might be a better... That's really nice. So I'm actually going to go in there and do a little bit of digging into that one. Let's set some reverb on there. Not too much, right? I think I'm gonna throw a slight delay. If it doesn't work out, I can always just drop it. But I wanted to have that nice, like area sound, like a little spacious, because I want the EP to really ride out that beat. So I've got to make sure that it shines through. So for the sake of organization, we'll call it EP. Turn that a little bit to the right and turn the volume up. I want it to really cut through those drums there. So we're going to try and just play along with this drum pattern again, see if I can find something decent. And let's see. There's a lot of really good ideas coming here. I think that most of these can work. I don't want to get too caught up in the science of it, but I'm feeling these kind of right. These kind of awkward chords. I don't even know if they make sense in a sense, but they work because they feel right to me. Right? That has a nice. I'm gonna put that in. So we're gonna go in there. No science here. I think it's smacking down on the velocity too hard, so we're gonna bring that down some, like right about here. These sound really interesting together. That's a little bit of an accident, but I think I can rock with that. Let's put it in. So, by itself, it sounds too hard. How about we duck that even more? Nice. Now I can feel that. So the question is from there, I want this to tell a story, right? Where's that gonna jump to? It can kind of jump over here, maybe? That sounds actually really nice. A little bit of an accident. Let's put that in. Kind of trial and error. I actually really hate chord progressions. I have an awkward way of putting them in. Just kind of feeling my way around the keyboard. So 2 more chords here would be great. So I'm getting there, but I wanted to dip down a little bit. But where do I go from there? Not too, I don't want to go that low. Maybe like in this area here. Maybe. Let's put that in. I'm gonna dip down a little bit. Right, get the C there, and the D sharp. Is that working still? Right? That works for me. And it needs some conclusion. It needs that nice resolution. Once that resolution comes in, the hardest part I think is over. That might be able to work actually. Let's find out. So if it does work and I copy and paste it, that should work twice and it would be perfectly fine. So let's take a listen. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. So very rarely do I get into situations where I make a good chord progression right off the bat. Usually it's a lot more trickier than that, but what I'll do is copy that twice over. Because I think this downbeat stuff is really cool because you can let the chord just drive the song. So I really want that chord to shine a little bit more. So I'm just going to up the volume a little bit. A lot of it. And I think what could be pretty cool, maybe organ. I don't really have a go-to for organs. But what I can do is I'll copy these beautiful, beautiful chords here. And I'll see if I can find a decent organ sound. I don't really know. If not, I'll have to do some digging. It's really complicated to find a decent one. Guess I gotta find my go-to. And the reason why I want the organ is just like to add more body, more weight. So I'm gonna actually pan that organ to the left, and I'm gonna call this organ. And now I'm gonna look for one. Zebra shouldn't let me down. I don't think it. I think that they have certain organ-esque sounds. I don't want something too synthy. I don't even know what that is. Too hard. No. No way. That could be it. I might come back to that. too evil. I don't know. You know what? I think that's going to be the one. So for argument's sake, let's get in there and we're going to copy that pattern. And let's see how it sounds together, if it can work. If not, we got to do some digging. Oh no. So this sounds really, really dark. So I'm going to actually drum this up an octave. That might make it a lot better. So let's find out. Yeah, it does, but the volume is too high. So we're going to duck that volume down because we want the EP to win. We don't want the organ to really be overshadowing it. I like it. So what's happening is the song is moving in its way it needs to be, which is pretty cool. I'm on fire, I feel like. So let me go into the bass. Now, what pink did I use? That's the one. For bass lines, I'll keep it simple. For the sake of time, I don't want to bore anybody. And I'm going to dig into Trillion. And I'm going to get something warm as I possibly can find. Something nice and straightforward. Ooh, there's so many options. I hate that there's so many options, but let's do, yeah. Oh my goodness, I need to like play with this more because there's just so many different options. Like, what is this? The only thing I don't like is that the presets take a while to load in Trillion. Not really fond of that. Let's see. Does that feel right to me? So what I can do is just see if I can get something working. So I started off on the C. So I like the way the bass is going, where it could possibly go. So there can be so many different ideas happening here. I'm gonna actually try my favorite thing and hit the record button. And I'm just gonna start freehanding it and just seeing if I can craft ideas that I like and just take apart the things that I don't like and do like, see if I can find that happy spot. So let's play along again with that. Okay, cool. So it's not going to be exactly smacked exactly on the grid, but it might be a little bit cool if I can get it to work. If not, we'll figure it out. So I think I'm going to let it rock out as it is, because it's not going to be... See, it's already off. Actually, what I can do, a fun little trick, so I can the first note is all the way in the front, which is cool. So that means that everything after that is a little bit off. So I can actually highlight everything except for the first note, since it's all the way smacked to the beginning of the track, and just slightly drag the rest of the notes over. And it might make it a little bit more in tune. So now my timing isn't as bad. It could be a little bit more realism too, which is cool. Yeah, I can do with that. This is pretty dope. The question now is, what comes next? So to me, there has to be something a little bit more beefy coming up in the next section, because the song really wants to begin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those drums, we're going to automate them, I'm not going to think too much about it. And so now I could technically take these same EP patterns and plop them across, and it should work. But I'm doing something a little bit more, you know, diversifying. Diversity is the spice of life. I'm going to dig in here. And I'm gonna switch them up. I'm gonna switch them all up. A little nervous. So I guess where do I want it to go? Let me take a listen to how I left that off and see if I can jump in and transition smoothly. So I feel I can go in most places here, which is pretty cool. So right here, come back there. Do something a little bit. I don't know if I want to do that kind of arpeggiated style, or just smack down more chords. Maybe. Let's see, I'm running out a little out of ideas here. Let's see, a little dry. That one could be a little fun, but I think it's changing it from that kind of downbeat sadness to a little bit more upbeat. I'm not sure if I really want that. So it's interesting because I do like where it kind of could go. So I'm actually gonna maybe manipulate that idea a little bit. So I was kind of like, let me see. But I don't know. It's kind of happy. Do I want that? If I maybe just that chord by itself, because it's a little awkward. I kind of wants to do something there. It's not bad. That could work, actually. I feel like it spaces it out some. We're gonna get to that G there. So we're here. Romantic. Where does it want to go? It's telling me it's moving downward almost. So it's kind of like a nice high, nice middle, and maybe a slam here. Something a little darker. could happen, right? I don't know if I'm not 100% sure about this idea here. It's kind of like the psychological approach to it. It's like, how do you feel? Like, where is it taking you as a listener or as a player? That feels good to me. That does feel good. And actually, I like the way this is coming, so I'm just gonna actually, oh, I hate when that happens, so I have to go drag it all the way back over. So I'm gonna have that happen twice. Except maybe I'll let the second pattern play with a little bit less velocity, not too much lower. And I actually will copy and paste that over. So let's see, just to make sure, I'm gonna listen to it one more time. Nice. Cool. This should be different, I feel. I don't know why I feel that way. It just, if the last pattern ended up on that downward C, maybe I can make it a little bit brighter, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's find out. Can experiment for a little bit. So that feels good. So that's where I left off. What if I hit? Would that work? So I think that can work. It's a little brighter. It may be a little bit too bright. We can find out. Let's see. Something's missing there. It's lacking body there, but maybe that C there. Let me paste that again. Maybe a little bit lower on the velocity like the last one. Is that gonna still work? Trial and error here. Just feeling it out. I think it could work. So let's say, for example, we keep that pattern. We're not gonna fight it, right? We're gonna keep it and we're gonna plop it across again. And now we're gonna do again with the organ like last time. We're gonna copy this. And we're gonna get the organ pattern coming in here, but we're gonna make it unique. And then unique pattern, we're gonna scrap it, and then we're gonna paste a new pattern. So this might give the second measure here more weight, more body, more like just mass. So if it doesn't work, actually, I remember this happened last time with the organ because it automatically gets put to the same exact note. So we're gonna put up an octave so the organs are not muddy. So here we go. That's nice. I can feel that. I actually really like where this is happening. Like, it's really crazy, but this rarely happens where I'm just like feeling a track this early on. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. You gotta take it the good with the bad. The bass line is something I need to work on here. I mean, I don't want it to be crazy, so let's see. So I'm gonna actually do what I did last time and hit that record button and just play ideas with it. So this way we can just kind of pick and choose what's happening and what likes and what you don't like. No pressure here. All experimental. Have fun with it. And you know, I think it was a little sloppy. Maybe a lot of sloppy. But who cares? So let's just put it in. And the same little trick. I think my timing was a little bit off. So I'll highlight everything. Wait, uh-oh. Everything except the first note. Get everything. I don't want to miss anything. Did I get it? The last couple. There we go. And I'm gonna try and sync it up just a little bit better. Just so it's, you know, not directly on it. Can that work? Let's see. Pretty bad. But the idea is there. The timing is definitely off. But I can hold it. This area is a little bit messy. It's gotta get cleaned up. So honestly, I like the ideas coming here, but I don't like the execution. So what's going to end up happening is this. I'll keep this pattern for safekeeping elsewhere, and I'll make another one that's unique. And the only reason why I feel like this way is I don't want to go too crazy and get lost in the cleaning up of the bass line. I want to keep moving. So I'm actually going to delete everything on the new pattern. I'm going to keep the bass, you know, this idea here, in case I want to come back and refer to it later. It's always going to be there. But for now, it doesn't exist. So what I will do is go back into the bass. And instead of coming up with complex patterns, we're going to keep it to the single notes. So I know that the bass line here is going to work, right? Because I started off on the G sharp. So if I hit the G sharp, it's going to work. And if I hit the G after that, it's also going to work, right? And then the C. Then another C. This is a quick way to put in the bass without struggling too much. I'm going to hit that C down here. Maybe we'll up the velocity a little bit. I want it to be too high. Let's see. Yeah. That's pretty cool. I'll just copy and paste it. Nice. Alright, so now something is cooking. We can up the organs a little bit. Nice. So the way I'm thinking about this is, the song is done, right? I think that the whole song itself is done. Now it's just really refining those details, which is the tricky part as well. But it's kind of hot over here today. I don't know why. So I'm gonna take a quick little break, get a cup of water, and then jump right back in. Oh my god, so I had the biggest upset in audio and visual quality. I don't think it was OBS. I think it might have been my audio interface that might have crapped out. So it skipped maybe 40 minutes worth of work, which really sucks. But the good thing is I didn't really do too much. I mean, I changed very, very minimal drum patterns here. But I want you to hear the first half, which is where I really dug into it a little bit, just adding a little bit more body and more content, just to make it a little bit more lively. And truthfully, the song at this point is at its final stages. There might be a lead, there may not be. I don't think it necessarily has to have one. It still has that nice chilled out vibe. And here it is now. So honestly, I'm really upset about this because I paid too much money for these pieces of equipment for it to shoot out like that, and I don't really know what caused it. So I have to get my friend in here, who's a lot more of a techie than me, to examine it a little bit because I don't want that to happen. I had about an hour's worth of content, but you know what? The good thing is, I think the first half of the video showed the majority of the track being made, but there wasn't too much that I added other than this little guitar here, kind of clean. Really fun, super simple, and then like a little bit of like this little 5e glassy EP. Like it. Really simple, nothing crazy, and then I just threw it up another octave for the next measure so it can keep some more movement, add some more body here. And I think this is just really good for those dialogue style tracks, like maybe just something really chilled out, nothing crazy happening. But sorry for that inconvenience, guys. I really do, I gotta check this out. This is not cool. But you know what? If it did help, let me know in the bottom. And, let me know if you're interested in something else. I'm always taking feedback. So until next time, happy composing and cheers.